And we're live.
Hello, everybody. This is Will Faerber, and we're here today with Darcy Branchini, picking up our lessons from yesterday that we had cut short due to my having a fire near me and my power outage, but we're all good. Nothing burnt up, so very good. So we're going to pick it up where we left off yesterday. Just give us a little reintroduction of what he's been doing lately and all that quickly for everybody.
So yesterday, if you remember, I mentioned that he pulled one shoe. We pulled the other one on the front. After we hung up, I actually went on to ride him, but I just did walk work. I got beautiful walks out of him again yesterday. That's 2 days in a row. So I was feeling really good about what I got. I didn't try the trot. I actually am somewhat hopeful that he might be okay at the trot today, but I guess we'll see. And then the other thing I was going to say is that it was interesting last week to this week. So last week I had my days to ride were like kind of Friday and Saturday. So it was right after our lessons. And by Saturday he was really pretty sour and he didn't really want to move. And so I gave him Sunday and Monday off. And then Tuesday he was beautiful. Wednesday he was beautiful. So I guess it just goes to show that like sometimes it really is just best to like just take that step back, you know.
They need to just have time off, just like you and I, you know. We don't like to work 24 hours every day, 7 days a week, right? We get burnt out. And they get tired and sore. But we were just talking about before we turned it on how much better he's looking for everybody that's been following us for a while. He really is looking to having just come out. You know, he really looks quite fit these days. There's no big belly hanging down anymore. So huge improvement, even standing more square and underneath himself, you know. Neck out in a good position. So that's really good. All right, well, let's just do a little bit of work in hand, and I think we'll just get you up there then. So we still have no front shoes on, right?
Yeah, no front shoes. Our
so we'll do a little of this, and we'll do the walk work, and we'll see what happens when we get to the trot work.
Okay, it might take a second for me to wake him up.
That's right. Getting to start warming up. I hear it's a little cooler there today, so that's good.
Yeah, yesterday was one of our hottest days. So. Okay, walk on.
We can just continue to go large, just trying to open up that walk a little bit, so get a little more activity before we try to do really anything other than just giving a little touch and trying to get that step a little more active. A little tap and see if we can get a little more. I think he can step a little more lively than that. Should be able to. It's getting better. Go ahead and turn by the center line at this end and do a leg yield to the right. Just keep working that to get the step a little more active as we go. Going to relieve himself there for a minute.
We got to the camera.
There you go, exactly. He's getting his business done early here today. That's good.
Okay, Calvin.
Good boy, Calvin. He hears me.
Okay, come on. Walk. Good boy.
So go ahead and just go large again down this next long side, and then we'll try that going, but go down the center line at the top of there. You can do a little leg yield from where you are to get yourself over there again. And then we'll try to come down right near the center line at the top. That's getting better. Go ahead and do that again at this end, turning down the center line, leg yielding to the right one more time. It's getting better. Walk is starting to look a lot more active now. little more crossing over, ask her to step over a little bit more there. Needs to be a little more active, stepping underneath himself a little more. There you go, towards the end, that's getting better. Let's do that one more time, coming down the center line, leg yielding to the right, getting a little deeper step underneath himself. That is, we're looking for that inside hind leg to step over and under a little more and give a little more push. That's more like it. There we go. That was better. There, now we got a deeper stretch. Much better walk now. Now down the next long side, I want you to just lengthen the stride. We'll see how much walk we can get out of him. And then when you come back on the other side, we'll do a little shoulder four, bringing him up a little bit through the short side. So really try to maximize that. There you go, like that. Now he's starting to take a deeper step.
And you said another leg yield? Or shoulder in?
No, we're going to come, a little shoulder four on the next long side.
Okay.
Going to bring a shoulder in. So we're going to let him come up a little bit as we go through the short side here, so we can bring him up more into a working position, where he's comfortable without losing the stride. And then we'll try to bring his shoulders in a little bit off the rail so we have a little more control from the outside rein there. Like that. There we go. Keep that going about like that. Got an itch.
I guess. Okay, there you go.
Go ahead and pick it up from there.
Kind of lose the momentum there, Calvin.
There we go. Yeah. Picking it up there. That's better right there. There we go. Like that. Now we're getting there. Tap. Now on your circle ones here, so start from the stretch all the way down on the circle, making it a little more active. Ask for a little bit of shoulder four. So we're going to bring your shoulders in a little bit on the circle as we get in really deep, really active, pushing the hindquarters a little bit more outside the circle. So they're going on a bigger circle than the front end is going on a little bit. A little bit more there. Stay on your circle. Push the hindquarters out just a little bit more. We get a little more engagement off that inside hind leg.
You got it. Boy.
There we go. And now we're just going to bring him up a bit. So beginning to shorten your reins a little bit, trying to keep the same step, but just bringing his pole up a bit as we shorten the reins. See where we can come to and maintain that big step.
Okay.
Push the hindquarters out just a little more again. We start to lose that. That's a little better there. Good, keep that. Good. And as you come to the center line, halt. And just try to keep softening him with your fingers there a little bit so he doesn't throw his head up in the air, and just stop softly. Give and take as you come into it, not looking for it to be on the spot or immediate at this point. Very good. And you can go ahead and change directions.
Okay, come on. Ready? Walk on.
So take a moment on the circle now in this direction, push his hindquarters a little bit to the outside, give him a little more shoulder force. We get the step a little more active. And we get a little into a deeper stretch.
Walk on. Good boy.
Just a little more active step, give him a little tap again, see if we can get just a little more out of that. And this time as you come around, go ahead and go large down the long side and then turn by the center line and leg yield to the left. Keep that going. Steps. Not bad at all there. Good. Very nice. Now go ahead and lengthen the walk up the next long side and then come back towards me here with a shoulder 4. So just lengthening the walk on the long side, getting the biggest walk that we can get out of him, swinging. Nice there. And now shoulder 4 down the next long side. That's about right there is quite good. Very nice. He's softening nicely for you. Right there. Very nice. And on the circle here, once all the way down in the stretch again on the circle, yielding his hindquarters a little bit more to the outside. Very nice. Very nice. Really nice step there. Now begin to bring him up a little bit on the circle, asking his hindquarters to go a little bit outside. We're going to bring his pole up a little bit and see where we can come to without losing that step. We go like that. Quite good. Bring him on up just a little bit more. See what happens. See if we can bring his pole up a little bit higher than that yet. Ask for a little bit more shoulder 4 position. Ask the hindquarters to move out just a little bit while we do this to help him stay engaged. Not bad there. Not like that. Good. Good. And as you come to the center line there, you can just ask him to halt. Best you can. Good boy. Very nicely done. All right, you may mount up. That was good. They just look so trim today. Starting to look like an athlete. Yeah. I mean, in the past, we've had to always get him into the trot and really going before we start to begin to see that abdominal wall come up a bit. It's kind of starting that way, so that's really good. It's always great to look at our horses when they're just standing around, you know, and not being worked, and see how they're standing. Are they standing square on their feet? Do they stand with their backs engaged? Or do they bring their head up in the air and drop their back when they stand? And what you should see over time is they're beginning to stand more square, beginning to keep their top line engaged even when they're just standing and resting.
I mean, actually, that is an improvement. I know he brings his head up some and drops his back, but it used to be drastic when you asked for a halt. So
yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like that is still an improvement. Yeah.
Exactly. So as I said, and that's just like a person, you know, a person with good posture gets in the habit of that, you know, they sit up straight, you know.
Yeah.
If they're with horses, they get used to being that. It feels hard on your back, you know, and you let yourself collapse and your lower back starts hurting and all that. So that core strength is important for people as well as for horses.
What are you doing? Hey, don't bite.
I'll give you a little nibble there.
I think he's trying to see what's in my pocket, actually. Because I have that mic in my pocket. He's a very curious horse. If he sees something new, he has to put his mouth on it.
Yeah. Okay. That new horse that we have, Lip, or new, I guess it's been 5 or 6 months now we've had him, but same thing. He has his mouth is on everything.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Okay,
Calvin. But, you know, he did nothing but live in a herd his whole life, you know, so.
Yeah.
That's how they do it out there with each other. They bite each other and all that. Very nice. So just starting off in a good walk, letting him stretch down as soon as he will.
I had a curious moment yesterday. I took my stirrups off, and my hips, I think, really, I could feel the difference in my hips. Like they just relaxed, and he totally stretched down. And that was the big transition moment for me.
Yeah.
I think I have a tendency.
That's always good to do. So you kind of try to get that same feeling of relaxation in your legs when you have your stirrups, but just lifting your toe up a little bit. That's what I try to lengthen your leg down. I don't do a lot of training of people without stirrups because it's very hard on horses' backs to start with. But at the same time, you know, I've seen people that I kind of went through this myself when I was first learning dressage. You know, I spent endless hours in the saddle with no stirrups. But once you pick up the stirrups, you have to kind of relearn how to do it. So if you focus on it, you know, what it feels like to keep that relaxation in your upper leg and let your legs relax and droop down and around the horse. That's what we want to do. But yet keep a little feel of just lifting your toe up all the time to keep your leg lengthening down and back.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So now on a circle here. Let's go around a circle once. Loving how nice this is already, just starting out. A little more active, just give him a little tap there so you can get the step a little more active and then stretch a little bit deeper. So think about bringing him a little bit shoulder fore on your circle when you need to by bringing your hands a little bit to the inside. There, it's getting better now. Then go ahead and go large in the walk. Just keep trying to keep that swing going, getting the stretching out in front of you for the time being. We're not ready to bring them up yet. I like how relaxed it is and active. So go large when you get up to the top there. We'll turn by the center line and do a bit of a leg yield to the left. A little tap there. He's getting a little inactive there in his walk. Now, of course, when I say to tap with your whip, I always mean to use the whip, your leg at the same time. In fact, even before, use your leg, and then if he doesn't respond, then tap with your whip. And your leg right behind it again. So we want to be sure that we teach the horse to go from your leg, that's when we use the whip, that's what it's about. Not that, you know, you can actually teach a horse just to go off a whip, and then they get very good at that, and then you drop the whip and you have nothing. So go ahead and turn by there and do a leg yield to the left. So always thinking about why we're using the whip, we're teaching the horse the response to the leg. So always have to use the leg first. Really nice in that stretch now. A little more, that's it. Let the shoulder go over left a little bit. That's right. Remember, we always have to have the shoulder like he is now, leading slightly in the exercise, or they stand a chance of hitting their legs together, which we don't want to have happen. That's really quite good. And just keep working on the stretch in the walk. Change the rein across the diagonal here. Good. And after you change on the diagonal, go ahead and turn by the center line and leg yield to the right. So at the same time, we're moving them off of our inside leg. We want to be sure that we start getting in the habit of bringing our outside leg back from your hip and just in a neutral position. So it's not doing anything, but getting in the habit of weighing your inside seat bone by bringing your outside leg back from your hip a little bit. Like that, good. Keep that going. It's a little more active. It's really quite good, but I'd like to see the step just a tiny bit more active like that. It's good. Okay. Now on the circle here in the walk, I want you to just shorten your reins a little bit and bring his pole up, but try to do it without losing the step. So see if we can just raise his pole a little bit, shorten the reins a little bit, but without losing the nice walk that we have there. Now he's going a little bit with his shoulders outside of your circle, so think about making the hindquarters go more to the outside, so a little bit of shoulder force, so your hands might have come to the inside a little bit to control the shoulder position, while you then send him out with your leg. And widen that circle once, making it a little bigger there, a little more active. The top of your whip kind of lost a little of that step by trying to bring him up a little. So go ahead and let him stretch down, but really make him active. Let him stretch down, but more active in the step. Think of sort of lengthening the stride around your circle. That's getting better, even a little bit more. Keep that going. A little bit deeper into it, softening them a little bit with your fingers there as you go. Go ahead and go large in the walk now. And again, we're going to turn by the center line and do a leg yield to the right. Just a tiny bit more active in the step. It's gotten a little bit slacked off there a little bit. After that leg yield, a little more actively, a little tap. There, that's getting better now there. Start to pick up a little more swing in the walk now. That's better.
I think he was finally like, okay.
Okay, now I'm going to go. Good. Keep that walk going. Just go all the way down the long side again like this. And as you go to the short side of the ring there, I want you to bring him up a little bit in the pole, trying to keep that same walk. But then we're going to do a shoulder forward down the next long side. Nice stretching that. Really good. 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 That's coming quite nicely. Keep him right there. Really good. Keep that coming. And step. Good. Nice big step there. That was good. Now try to keep that frame where you have it right there. It's not all the way down. It's kind of midway there. Keep that as you go around a circle now once. Right. Now let him stretch all the way down and once again lengthening the walk. So as you let him stretch down, ask for a bigger and more active walk, remembering to use your legs alternately when you need to, when we use them at the walk. Very nice there. Good stretching that. Now go large and lengthen the walk the rest of the way down the long side. As you go away from me, just getting the biggest swinging step we can get and then change the rein across the next diagonal. Much better there. Good. Really good walk there. Very nice. More than that. ahead and keep that nice big swinging walk you got. Go large, and then across the short side at the other end, we'll bring them up a little bit and shoulder 4 coming back towards me. But really nice walk now. They're starting to really get going for you there. So think as you begin to bring him up, add a little more energy so you feel a little that there's a little something extra there to work with. That's it. Keep that coming. And come on up a little bit more. That right there is good. Now shoulder in, down the long side, shoulder 4. Good, right there, good. Keep that coming. Very nice. Keep that going. Now back on the circle here at this end, just try maintaining this more of a working walk. We've got us pull up a little bit. About like that, about midway. Keep trying to ask for a little more energy in it so we bring him up. He doesn't stop moving behind. That always being our goal. Always remembering that position without movement is pretty meaningless. So if we lose the movement because of what we're trying to get the horse into a position, and we know we have to give up on that and get the horse moving again. Not bad right there. Yeah, very nice. Keep that. Now let him stretch all the way down again. And let me see, as he stretches down, I should see that walk getting bigger. So try to add a little bit of tap with your whip. So I really begin to see him step under even a little bit more now. Very good. Nice. There, really good. Now bring him back up again on your circle. So keeping that same step. Just shortening your range, your hands out in front of you. And as we get a little bit up, a little bit up, a little bit, then we add a little bit of the leg. Be sure the energy is coming there. Experiment. So there's a lot of steps along the way as we raise this pole. Like that. Good. Go large in that. Keep it. Come up a little bit, a little more energy in it. Good. Now change your whip to your outside hand. And then from the next long side, I want you to leg yield from the wall out towards the center.
Okay.
So the first and most easily way to do the leg yield is always from the center to the outside. Most horses go out easier than they come in. Always an exception to that rule, of course, like all others. It's usually a little more difficult to get them to step away from the rail. We have to change the bend. So they're bending a little bit to the left. There we go. And just go on across the diagonal if you can. Go as far as you can, keeping that. Good. Good. That's good. And beginning to come into a little better frame as well. Keep that going. Just keep it going all the way across the diagonal if you can. Keep the activity as far as till you run out of room.
I think I ran out.
That's all right. Then just go straight wherever you run out. Now back on a circle here and stretch him down and lengthen around your circle again. Very nice. Really good stretch there. Now bring him up about midway again on your circle. Now think of putting him a little bit shoulder 4. And we're going to bring that pull on up a little bit more, go a little bit shoulder 4 so we can keep him engaged while we do this. There you go. It comes on up. There you go. There's your working walk. That's getting really nice now, like this. Very nice. Keep that. And of course, we want to soften. If you feel like he's a little tense on the outside, soften him with your outside rein, just by giving and taking a little bit. So whenever you feel a tension against your hand, You want to open your hand for a second, but then give and take so he can't get a hold of you. We never want to pull against pulling. Horse will always win that battle. That's getting much better now. Getting quite a nice working walk. There, good activity right there. Good, good. Not overbent, but he's accepting the contact with the bridle. Good. Go ahead and go large and maintain this position if you can. Little tap every now and then. He seems to be losing impulsion a little bit every now and then, keeping him in this position, but add a little bit of leg and whip when necessary. And now again, shoulder 4 down the next long side. Getting a little inactive. Be sure that we get him back to that active step again. If we have to let the pole drop a little bit to do that, that's okay. And just a couple little taps there. Try to perk that walk up a little bit so we get a little more coming up underneath you. And shoulder 4 now down this long side. And asking him to soften to your outside rein. That is by just giving and taking a little bit to that outside rein like that. Sometimes it's the inside, sometimes it's the outside. But I feel if he bends in too much, you feel him sort of beginning to pull on that outside rein, then it's the outside rein that needs to give and take a little bit, closing your fingers. There. Now let him stretch all the way down on the circle here. Now we're going to test this out and see how he is. Our horse has no shoes on his front, so we're going to see how he is in the trot. And we'll either continue or we won't, but let's see how he does. But whenever you're ready to staying on that big circle, you can ask him to trot. Go from the stretch is good.
Hey.
Should we correct your rising diagonal there once? Not bad. Keep that going.
He never wants to turn there.
A little harder to turn there. Let's keep that active. There you go. Now we're starting to get it. Try to just give a little more rein for a minute. Let me see what he does if you just give him a little more space in the reins. And just keep right. There we go. Now we're starting to get there. Keep going like that. There we go. Starting to get there. A little more active.
Okay.
All right.
He always wants to yank me down that wall.
Uh-huh. So keep that going. Give him a little tap of the whip and try to generate a little more activity. Just being a little short-strided here. There we go. Now we're starting to get there. Keep that going. You're almost there. Another little tap. Get a little more coming through from behind.
He's kind of ignoring my leg ache there. I don't know why, but
Yeah. Give him a little stronger tap with your whip.
whoa.
I
don't know, maybe.
There you go. Keep that going just for a second. Let's see what happens. Now give him a little more rein. Let me just see what he does. Just give him more rein. That'll loosen the reins a lot. There we go. Keep going for a moment. Keep that going for a moment. Think about using that open leading rein, letting your left hand just come to the inside at this point with him. There we go. Starting to get better. Keep going for a moment. There we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. There we go. Good job. There we go. Keep that now. Good, 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 good. Now let him come back to the walk again. So we want to reward him for that. They may be a little short-strided on those front feet today, but that was good. We'll let him walk now for a minute. But that was really good. We want to reward him for getting into that stretch since it took a little longer than usual there.
Yeah.
Now go ahead and activate your walk again as you go large. And letting him stretch all the way down. And of course, we normally warm up that on the lunge line before you try to do that. So that was really quite good. Keep that going now, a little more active. Now go ahead and turn down the center line again and do another leg yield to the right. Just to re-engage that. Keep that going. A little more leg. There you go, all the way over there. Now you got it. There we go. Starting to move over now. Good. And let him go all the way back down that stretch again. Now on your circle again, preparing to trot, and just starting in from the stretch. And whenever you're ready, just back into the trot again. Just stay on that big circle, just trying to go in a little bit shoulder fore as you can and engage the hindquarters a little more and asking for the stretch again. There we go, getting there, keep going. There we go, like that, really good. Now, keep that. Good, if you'll go large like that, good. Let him keep that stretch. Remember, it gets a little slow like that. It's all about tapping with your leg a little bit, get a little more energy. There, good. Good, good, good. That's more like it. Keep that going. Back on your circle again. That circle help you to get him back in the stretch by moving him hindquarters a little bit to the outside again, keeping him a little bit shoulder fore for a moment until we get that little more engagement. All right. Canter is certainly improving. Back into the trot again. Back on your circle.
I just can't.
And once again, try to use that open leading rein a little bit on your circle. Let that inside hand come to the inside. Just giving and taking so he can't just pull on you. In there a little bit. Keep that going for a moment. There we go. Okay, keep it going.
I can feel him like just dig in and be like, no, I'm going this way.
Yeah. Keep working that. Let's get him back in the stretch again. There we go. Back into that. Good. Now let him walk again.
I haven't had a day like this in a while with him, but
well, I think he does look quite a bit shortened in front there. I think that not having the shoes on is a bit of a problem for you. So, but I just wanted to get him into the stretch. So we'll keep that walk again. And I say we normally do all that lunging before you get on. He gets quite a bit more warmed up generally than we're able to do.
Yeah.
So you have to go through the more of that yourself because we usually do that from the ground. Go ahead and keep that and change the rein across the next diagonal, keeping that stretch in the walk. You guys having trouble keeping shoes on them out in the fields?
Yeah, we kind of are. It's very frustrating.
We know you can put bell boots on them out there.
Yeah, we do bell boots. Yep.
You do. That doesn't help either.
No, apparently
Well,
not.
sometimes if it's mushy, you know, they get stuck.
Yeah. It's frustrating because I can never usually find them when Calvin loses them, which I always get so worried about those nails out there.
Yeah. Probably 2 feet into the ground. I like that. Good. Now on the circle here. I like this walk. Make it just a little more active now on the circle with the stretch so that there's a little more something there when we begin to bring him up. Yeah, I like that. Good job. Now just begin to bring his pole up. So just shortening your reins, trying to keep the same step in the walk. We want to keep that same feeling that he wants to stretch into it as we just shorten the reins and bring his pole up now. Good. Let him come up a little bit more. I think you can bring him up a little bit more. Better little tap of your whip. It's got to about that point, kind of dropped out a little bit behind. So a little tap of your whip there to keep it running. And just keep the engine running when we get to that point. There. Now let him stretch all the way back down again. Good. Widening that circle a little bit. And now into the trot in this direction. From the stretch, starting from the stretch in the walk and just asking him to trot. Very nice. Now that time, much better. And just keep that stretch all the way. There we go. Good job. Very nice. A little bit more active. Use a little more. Tap behind your leg. There you go. Like that. Good job. Keep that. Very nice in that now. Keep it. There, good there. Very nice. And just keep it running. A little tap. See if you can keep it a little more active now that we get into that stretch. And keep it. A little more. Good. Good. Right there. Good job. Now, as you come to the wall here, just go large. Let him just stay in the stretch the way you have him here. And down the next long side, I want you to try to do a little bit of a lengthening of stride. Let's see if we can open it up a little bit in the stretch. Don't need to bring him up. I'm just looking to get more push coming through.
Come on. Jeez, Calvin.
And again, drop. There. And give him a little tap with your whip and send your seat through a little stronger as you rise to the trot, a little bit longer stroke, so to speak. There we go, like this. Good. Good. The canter a little bit. His canter is certainly looking better when he gives it to us. That's not bad. And once again, I want you to try to open the stride a little bit down the next long side. A little less reins. Tap. Straighten up. Trot rising. Good. Now I want you to try to open it up again. Down the long side. There you go. Like that. Let it open up and get moving. A little bit stronger even. Keep it going. There we go. Good there. Keep that.
I'll stop and go today.
That's better though. Keep that. Good. Good. Now go large and keep it right where you have it. See if you can keep that. Good. Now, and again, I want you to lengthen the stride on the next long side. Just trying to get a little, think of it as just going a little faster for right now. But as I said, a little touch with your legs. Top of the whip, try not to let him stall there in that corner again. Keep it going. There you go. Good. That's more like it. There we go. Come on. Open it up a little bit. Good. 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 Keep that going. Good. There. Now on the circle here. Keep the trot going. Around the circle. Keep it. Keep it. Good. Keep that. Tap. Now I want you to shorten your reins and bring his pole up a little bit on the circle. Keep the circle. And let's bring him up. There we go. Good. Not bad at all. Keep that. Keep it going. There. Good. Like that. Good. Good. Let it come up just a little bit more. That's not bad though. Right there is good. Right there. Keep that. Now go large and see if you can maintain that right there. See how much easier it is to steer once he starts getting over his back and we can get him straight between the reins. Keep going out of that corner. Now again, let him stretch all the way down now and do a little lengthening down this long side. So you let him stretch and really open him up again. Like that. Yeah, really good. Good, good, good. Keep that going like that. Very nice. Very nice. That's what we want to see. Keep that going. Just go large and just keep him just like you have him right there all the way down in the stretch. Active. And change the rein across the next diagonal. So let's see if we can do this trotting. Try not, remember, you're always trying to quit when you get down in this corner here. So be ready to give him a little tap if he's ready to stop on you again down there and keep him motivated right through that corner. Good, good. Keep it going right through this. And then change on the diagonal. Good stretch now. Keep that going. Go large. Like that. And lengthen again down the next long side. Very good.
Come on. You can do it.
And one more time down this long side, opening it up. Good. Now back on your circle here at this end. Good, really nice. Now just bring him up a little bit, just about midway. See where we can bring him to without losing that trot. I want it to feel just like it feels underneath you, but just bringing his pole up a little bit. The only thing that I want to change. Like that. Yeah, about right there. It's not bad for him right there. Yeah. Good. Yeah, much better there. Now let him have the stretch all the way back down again. That's it. Yeah, good. Better there. Now just a little tap. I want to see if we can get a little more push off that back end while he's in the stretch now. Good. Good. Keep that up there. Very good. There's no such thing as stretching too deep. We always have to stretch a horse deep enough that they pull all the way to the top of their withers. So we begin to bring those withers up through the shoulders. Strengthen the back. Good there. Correct your rising diagonal. On the correct one. There. Now on your circle again. Big circle there in the center. And again, just bringing his pole up a bit again. All right, let it come on up again.
I kind of forgot.
That's all right. There, right there. It's really good. Right there is excellent. Very nice. Keep it right there. Right there. Very good. Keep that. Now all the way back down again before he starts to lose it. Very nice there. I love this stretch. And for those who's watching, take a look at his belly now, how much he has pulled that abdominal wall up now compared to what we started, though it's much better starting than it's ever been before, just in terms of how he was standing there. But that's really quite good now. Keep that going, just around the circle. Very nice, just like that.
There you go, good boy.
Good, right there. Really good. Maintain that. Go large again. Keep it. And change the rein across the next diagonal from the next one side.
You got to turn. I don't know what to tell you. There's a wall there.
One more time. There you go. And just a little bit more active again, back on your circle. Let the circle help you get him back into the stretch again by moving those hindquarters a little bit outside. A little bit harder in this direction. All the way back down there again now. Get a little tired now. Keep going. We're going to get one more stretch. Keep it going in this direction till we get it. There we go, right there, good. Now let him come back to a walk. And keep your walk there and just go large in the walk.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe he is a little sore. I think that's where all that resistance today is coming from.
Yeah, it could have been a little bit. But it looked good once he got into it. But as I said, normally we do a lot more warm up before you get to that. So, I mean, you had to do all that yourself today without the help of the lunge line. And that. So that's really good. And just let him keep that big walk there once around. And then come back down, back to him to it at the other end. Very nice.
Come on.
Now, as you come down the next long side, just bring his pole up a little bit, about midway once again. See where we can bring him to. Good. Not bad at all, right there. Now, just stay straight on your wall there and ask him to halt. Not bad. Good boy. And go ahead and walk on again on the circle here. Keep your working walk here on the circle, just keeping him up in the pole for just a second here. See where we can bring him to, right there. Make it just a little bit more active for the last few steps here, to see if you can tap and get just a little more out of him, a little more lift in his back as you keep his pole in that position, right there. There, not bad at all there. Now turn straight, so coming straight down. You don't have to go to the long side, but just wherever you are there, just turn and go straight. There, right there. And let him halt right there. Nice and straight. Good boy. That was quite good. Heck, squared up pretty nicely for you. You may dismount. That was excellent workout today, as it turned out. As I said, considering that you had to do all of that yourself without the help of him being warmed up on the lunge line first was very good. I mean, it didn't take you long to get him into the stretch and get him moving. A little more reluctant than usually, but usually when we start off on the lunge line, he's a little bit reluctant.
That's
so that's, you know, usually about the same thing. But really, really great.
Well, thanks.
I couldn't be happier with the way this horse, and you were coming along. Your posture looks really good when you're riding. Very nice. You're really keeping yourself up straight, sitting in a really good position on the back of the horse in that saddle. So, super work.
Thank you.
All right, questions today?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think just keep doing what we're doing, right?
Exactly. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. And each time we bring them up, you know, it's just very normal. It's never just every day gets better and better. And we all hit, you know, moments with our horses where all of a sudden they've had enough and we need to back off and have a day of just doing nothing or a day off or whatever the case may be, then start again. We always we're always going back and starting it over, but it takes us quicker to go back and start over again each time. You know, like it's faster and faster, like with him. And of course, you've gotten rid of all this stuff of him trying to be really resistive and run out the doors with you and all the kind of stuff. He's basically listening to you quite well and coming up. And once again, the steering part, you know, as you see, when he gets really over his back and consistent, it's pretty easy to steer, relatively speaking, right? But when he's not, it's like you're steering a truck with no brakes or no power steering. You know, I mean, they're kind of drifting all over the place. So you can't worry about that. You only have to worry about getting him over the back. Once we get him over the back, then we worry about steering because then it's time to think about that. It's possible. But until they're over the back, it's you know, it's kind of like in that direction, kind of, if you will. But you know, you're never going to get much in consistency in perfect turns and things until they really get consistently in the bridle. That's what we're working towards. But you can't just beat the horse up and try to make that happen, or you'll end up with nothing. You know? So all good.
Like me, I have to keep in mind, like I sensed at one point, I was like, oh, geez, I'm like holding all this tension because I wasn't getting what I was asking for, and so I had to like think about my own tension too. So yeah,
it is, and getting that out of the way in your mind. That, you know, you can't
get
frustrated.
It wasn't helping anything. It's like
right, it doesn't. Frustration helps nothing. You just have to, you know, read the horse, figure out what you need to do today relative to him and your own level of skills, and do the best that you can. And as soon as we get it tight and worry about it, then we start torturing the horse.
Exactly.
But it is always that thing of having to come back. I mean, it takes, even with someone like me who's done this all my life, it takes me 2 years to get a green horse up to where I want it to be, where it's consistently in the bridle. So it takes that amount of time, even for people who really know what they're doing. So you're doing great considering, you know, he was pretty, when you started with this one, when we started working together back before Christmas or whenever it was, and you know, you could pretty much consider that you were floundering there a bit with him not knowing what to do. And now you've gotten his direction. He's very nice about everything you're doing there a bit. You know, he's beginning to have a work ethic about what he does. And he looks today was the first day he's ever walked out. And I just thought, wow, he looks different. I'm seeing in terms of his body, the belly's gone. He's really starting to hold himself much better. So great work. Thanks. All right, you guys. Well, I'm glad we were able to make up the lesson today. Sorry about all the confusion.
Thank you for doing it. Yeah.
No problem at all.
So we'll shoot for,
I look forward to seeing you
next week, same time, 6 o'clock.
Next time, if everybody, we're going to post this. I don't think we posted it yet, but we'll be in Ithaca for a clinic in October. I will post it in the site here very soon. As soon as I get that information that I need, and that's going to be October. I think it's 7th, 8th, and 9th, and 10th, or 8th, 9th, and 10th. 8th, 9th, and 10th. 8th, 9th, and 10th. The weekend of October.
We got space for auditors if you want to come and audit. So we've got space for auditors.
Right. Excellent.
Lots of space for auditors.
Maybe we'll even, maybe we'll have it available for people to watch through this. Is that possible on those days?
Yeah,
we can
do that if we want to. That's
might be interesting if people are interested in it. But that would be a great thing. So
great
working with you guys.
If we get enough response and they want to do their virtual auditing, we can do that.
Yeah.
So, sure.
We'll put something out about that. See what people are. If anybody listening to this, if that's something I think people are interested, we can go to the trouble to try to make that happen. So,
if anybody's interested in setting this up for themselves, just reach out to me. I'll help them step them through what needs to happen. You know, in the virtual lesson. Okay.
And we appreciate all of Ron's help. For those of you who don't know that Ron works for Live Nation and he puts up big shows all the time. what he does for a living out there. So we have a resident expert in all of this. So we appreciate all your help.
Except that I forget to get the audio going right on my lesson yesterday.
Right.
But hey, it does happen.
It does happen, as we know, to the best of us. All right, you guys. See you next week. It was a pleasure. All right.
Thank you, Will.
You too. Bye-bye.
He's like, am I done? Look at Calvin. He just looked around like his eyes were all like.